Hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of World v World Solo Roaming. I wanted to start off this video by thanking everybody for the really warm reception to the first World v World video. I was really happy with how that video did, and if you're here from that video, I want to say thank you for coming along for the ride, and if you're new here, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost anything. I upload PvP, and nowadays World v World videos every single week in 4K. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Thanks, guys. So after getting my butt kicked in the Borderlands last time, I wanted to do my research before jumping in a second time. And I actually had a World v World YouTuber reach out to me that goes by the name of It's So Balanced. Now, he and I had a little sort of training coaching session, one-on-one, where he showed me some kiting spots, and he told me the importance of food and utility and the armor buff. And then finally we had a little bit of practice duels where he let me fine-tune my build against him so that I could get something that felt good to play. So obviously he is very strong at World v World and kicked my butt a whole bunch of times, but you know what, there were a few times where I did get him. And most importantly, I was feeling a lot more confident, and I was feeling like my build was tweaked just right. So here you can see I'm on kind of like a classic Power Herald build, and in my previous video I just could not make Herald work. But after a little bit of fine-tuning, and honestly one of the biggest things that I realized that I was missing was food and utility, and also the armor buff. Those three things together, you know, it's small incremental things, but you add them all, and they really do make a big difference. So this final duel, he obviously ends up taking from me. I think over the course of the night, he obviously won a lot more against me than I won against him. But a sincere thank you to him for spending some time with me and showing me the ropes. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, this session was very valuable for me. I feel like I learned a lot. So I'll be sure to link his channel in the description for everybody to go check out and thank him on my behalf. So feeling powered up, I jumped into the Borderlands to do a little bit of roaming. And of course I used the armor enhancement buff. As I learned, it's very important. I thought it was just a PvE thing. It doesn't work in PvP, and if you queue for PvP with food and utility on it, it robs it from you. It completely strips you of it. So it's bad to queue for PvP with food on. So I don't know. Anyway, so I find this group of people here at my camp, and maybe I'm a little overzealous, but I think screw it, you know, we can at least get warmed up. I think it's about 4 or 5 of them. The Mesmer chases me, and I get him kind of solo, so I pressure him first. You know, when you're in these outnumbered scenarios, it doesn't matter if it's PvP or World v World or what it is, you kind of want to do a little bit of divide and conquer. You want to see if you can get any of them to split off from their main group and turn it from a 4v1 to a 1v1. So you see the Mesmer's alone, so that's when I go for a burst on him. And he goes into the barn, and now his teammates are nowhere near, and so that's how I'm able to secure that kill, sort of that divide and conquer strategy. So that went quite well against that Mesmer. Get that secured, and now we can go for his other friend, the Reaper here. But he gets his shroud just in time, and you know what? I don't really want to sit there and trade damage with a Reaper who's got full shroud. I'd rather just sit back and grab some energy and get my enchanted daggers reset and wait for his shroud to go down. So see, I'm waiting for that shroud to go down, and then as soon as it's down, I do a big burst with 100 energy, and that allows me to get the down on him. But here's the issue. He's grouped up with his whole team, and you know, I have not divided them. They're all stacked up, and I'm not going to stand much of a chance just running into 3 of them and, you know, trading blows with them. So they get that res quite easily. And at this point, I've kind of come away from them. Like I've walked away. but they're not really taking my bait. They're not really splitting apart. So I'm just not really able to get much on these guys. They're kind of a tough nut to crack. I think it's 3 Necros, and if you've ever played Power Rev into Condi Necro, you know that it's no easy feat. And so I teleport out, and honestly I'm just going to speed this up because a whole lot of nothing happens at this point. I'm just trying to split them up, but they just will not. I don't know if they are a guild or in voice comms or what the story is, but they just wouldn't split up, so I couldn't get them. But eventually they leave their friend behind, and so I could finally get the kind of duel with him. And just hit him with a nice little combo, and we get him down. So nothing really to write home about, but I thought that was pretty clean for my very first World v World fight in quite some time. So I'm roaming around looking for other roamers, and just over the horizon here I spot one, and so I'm chasing him down, and this is the introduction of a recurring character in this video. I'm gonna call him Freaky Frogman. And he puts up a real good fight. I think he's quite high level. I think it's something like Platinum, which is much higher than I. And he knows what he's doing. So I get him with a nice CC through his stealth. And I just have to respect his Hollow Forge damage. But I just about get him down here. But then I realize, oh, he's got a door there. And then he walks into it and gets to safety. So I'm kind of waiting down here, waiting for him to come out, hoping that he comes out. Then I realize, oh wait, he's looking down on me from above. And I mean, there's no way for me to get him. So I'm just in this like weird stare down with him. I mean, what do you do in this scenario, right? So he does eventually come back down, and so the fight resumes. Sword 3 lands, which is great. I don't get last dagger, there it goes, but he gets a nice combo on me, and I don't get a lot of healing off of my glint heal. I stole my dragon wings. This build that he is on has a lot of blind, spamming a lot of blind on me, and I've kind of got in a bad habit of kind of playing like I have alacrity because of the River Relic in PvP. I've been playing with the River Relic a lot. It's a really good burst on me, and I've just got no heals up at all, and so I try and CC him to mitigate his damage here. Just barely get my glint heal off, but he knows not to hit me when I've got that up. He's a good player. And this is his duel to win here. He's just got to finish it. And there he goes. He gets the duel on me. Now, this is the moment that I realize I'm on the wrong relic. Womp womp. Oh, let's talk about fine-tuning my build. And then I'm on the wrong bloody relic, of course. So I swapped to the one that I was intending to use, and by this time Freaky Frogman has hightailed it. He's gone like the wind, and so I move on. So just looking around here, I come across his camp. And wouldn't you know it? There is a Mesmer, and this is a real funny one. So this Mesmer and I duel for quite some time, and I can't really kill him. Condi Mesmer pretty well counters Power Rev, so I really can't do much to kill him. But then I noticed that he has a friend, and I like my odds against his friend better than I like my odds against him. So I kind of switched my focus to the other green guy, the Reaper. Now I'm waiting for my assassin stance to come up, And that was a bad swap. I should have swapped manually using my mouse there to avoid the cooldown, but luckily the green guy stays in combat with the bots, and that allows me to get a really good cheeky burst in there. Now, I've sped this up way fast, because trust me when I say that there's absolutely nothing of value going on in this time. I'm fighting only the Mirage, he is fighting only me, he doesn't really do any damage, I can't really do any damage to him because he's so tanky, and nobody downs one another, okay? And this goes on, and it's a huge waste of time, and it eventually ends with him running away and leaving the map. And honestly, I don't blame him. I don't think that would ever end if it would have just been him and I fighting and fighting and fighting. I don't think either of us would have killed one another. So he runs away, and so I turn around, and wouldn't you know, it's our recurring character, Mr. Freaky Frogman. He's returned. So he's just kind of like stalking me. But he starts jumping, so he's there. I give him a little poke and say, hey, let's fight. And so the fight begins. Dodge his big missile here. And now I'm on the right relic, right? So I like my odds here, because now I can have at least a little bit of sustain when he doesn't hit my glint heal, because you know when you're on Power Herald, good players are going to stow their weapon. They're not going to hit you when you've got your glint heal up, and it's really going to put the pressure on you, and you're not going to have a lot of healing. So having that, I chose the Zakros relic to kind of cover that potential gap in the build, to give me a little bit of sustained healing, and I get a really nice combo in there with the Death Strike. And I let Mr. Freaky Frogman get a self-res. And then he disappears. And then a PM comes in, and this is from the Mirage. And I suppose that he is really unhappy with me about our duel. I don't know if you can even call it a duel. Nobody actually won or lost. So I try and say something back, but I'm already blocked. So I just thought that was hilarious. I'm not mad or anything. I just thought it was funny. And he called me an incel. You know, I'll have you know, sir, that I am happily married to my beautiful wife, Glenna. Oh, awesome. And we love each other very much. As a matter of fact, in the next clip, I'm speaking with my wife, Glenna, about banana bread while I'm fighting this next guy, who is a goddess of World v World. And that title means that he's played, I think, 10,000 levels worth, so he's maxed out. He's played a ton of this game mode, and he can see that I have not played very much at all. I think I'm somewhere in bronze. And that segues me to talking about a subject, the subject of toxicity. And I'm kind of sticking my neck out by bringing this up, but I hear a lot of people oftentimes say PvP is more toxic than World v World, but I'm not so sure that that is the case. I think that one is not necessarily more than the other. I think it's just different, because like even now, okay, this guy, as I'm fighting him, does like a shrug emote, and he is so much higher level than I am, and yet he just like stops to pause and shrug mid-duel. I think that in PvP, a lot of the times you'll see people being toxic to their own teammates for misplays and bad rotations and things like that. But in World v World, it's very common to get toxicity from the opposing team, from the enemy team. You know, doing things like jumping on your corpse, or throwing siege, or even just PMing you and then, you know, immediately blocking. I've had way more encounters with that in World v World than I have had enemies being toxic to me in PvP. So I just thought that that was an interesting discussion. I don't know, maybe I'm alone on that, or maybe because I've played so much PvP, maybe my judgment is clouded. But that's just my personal experiences. I've had a lot of people in World v World, specifically from the enemy team, do rude stuff to me. So anyways, I'm going to fight this Harbinger here. It's going quite well for me. I get a good burst on him, and he uses up his heal now, so he's quite vulnerable. If that Sword 4 would have connected, then I think that I would have maybe ended that fight there, but it did not, so we need to persist. Now I am up. I've got a good chunk of energy, just banking some energy, waiting for a good burst. Some damage lands there. I miss my F2. But on the horizon, there is another green player. You may have caught him there. You'll see his tag there one more time. So that's going to become a problem. You can see he's approaching now. So I'm porting in on this Necro. Avoid his marks, luckily, so that was pretty good. But this other green player is quickly approaching now. In my last video, I tried to kite around on this terrain, and I got burned really bad. But this time, I did it successfully. I poured it onto the Jacaranda, and I juked him out. Now, the first enemy Necro sees me, and he's kind of walking towards me. So I port down to the second enemy Necro, and I think that shakes the first Necro off of me. And now I'm free to fight the second Necro in a clean, fair 1v1. My food runs out in this, which kind of hurts, but that's okay. I think, honestly, I watched this back. I played this so sloppily. I think that I am not used to a lot of the boon durations that people are running in World v World. Like, this guy has permanent quickness on his bar, right? And that's just not a thing in PvP. I mean, it's finally gone away now. But when he was in Shroud, he's just got permanent quickness, and that really throws my dodge timings off on things like Shroud 5, Shroud 4, and just really ramps his damage up. So it's something that I have to get used to. Like, see, he enters Shroud, boom, he's got a long stability, long quickness, and the quickness is continuing to pulse. He's still got that quickness, and even in down state, the quickness is persisting. So I do win that duel, but it was pretty sloppy, and I've definitely got to get used to the boon durations that people can run on their builds in this game mode. So here's a funny little interaction. I'm just capping a node, AFK in the brain, and then I notice, oh wait, big Zerg coming, and then I think I should step off of this to let them all get some capture contribution. And so I step off for just a sec, and then everybody gets the contribution, and they all say thank you. So I thought that was a good clip to include after my 2 toxic interactions. You know, a little bit of friendly camaraderie. So that was a fun little interaction with those guys. And if any of you from that group are watching this, say hi, and that'd be great. So anyways, next clip here. I stumble upon a gigantic group and try to navigate around them. I'm going to speed this up here. It's just, I need to learn a little bit more about the map. I realize that I cannot get around these guys, and I'm just going to need to plow right past. So I kind of grit my teeth and run by, and I get dismounted, and so I'm like, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap. And I'm running away, and then I realize, oh wait a minute, it's just one guy, and he's a recruit, so he's like brand new. So shame on me for doing this, but I hit him with a bit of a turn and burn. But then his teammates arrive, and so I let him get away. But I just thought that was kind of funny. Obviously, I am not able to fight such a large group, but I just thought that little interaction with that little baby Ellie was kind of funny. I have been that baby Ellie, trust me, and it was not that long ago. So, okay, coming across a Revenant here. This guy has got Salvation, he's got a short bow, he's got Jalis, he's very tanky. And I get a little bit of a burst on, and then I kite away. I'm going to see if I can just let him waste his enchanted daggers. He popped his enchanted daggers, but isn't really interested in using them. So he starts running away. I use a pitiful attempt of a short, or a sword 4. And he lands a knockdown on me, so that was good by him. But he's just so very tanky that even after a big death strike, he's still living. One more good burst on him here. But he is running. I need just a little bit of energy here. I can almost catch him. I'm just about to get him. And where is it? What the heck was that? I got teleported away, and I'm trying to figure it out here. And then it clicks. Oh man, he is in his spawn, and I can't go any further. I thought I had that guy, man. I was so disappointed when that happened. I thought I really earned that one, but I guess not. Okay, so after that, I proceeded to continue roaming around the map, and I encountered a Spellbreaker. And Spellbreaker versus Power Herald duels are some of the most fun and interactive in the whole game. As long as the Spellbreakers aren't, you know, running that silly bunker shenanigans that is so prevalent nowadays. But this guy is Great Sword and Dagger Shield. So this is like a classic build and something that I can definitely duel. And he's pretty good at the build, so I'm in a little bit of pain here. I have not really landed any good damage on him, and he has landed a lot of good damage on me. So I need to actually lock in a bit here and dodge some arcing slices like so, and actually play this well here. So blocking with the staff, I get tethered by the Mage Bane. His block is down, his full counter is down, so if I had some damage I could use it here. So I finally get to my swords, and I get a little bit of damage. I get the full counter off again. I should have used my glint heal there, my bad, but I poured in and use it on top of him to kind of bait out some damage. And he's trying to kite away, and so I port in on him and use some unblockable damage with the F2 on Shiro. And I'm just kind of doing that in and out style. I'm dodging instead of stowing, which is a bad habit, but eventually, after enough tries and enough dueling, I do end up winning. And wouldn't you know, like a cryptid, Freaky Frogman was there watching from the shadows the whole time. I couldn't believe it. This is how he earned his freaky name. It's the way that he's always lurking and watching. So I didn't know what to do. I was like properly spooked at this point. You know, this guy just always knows where I'm at, and so I'm dealing with this sentry, but keeping one eye on the Freaky Frogman to make sure that he's not gonna, I don't know, I don't even know what he would do, but just making sure. Give him a little wavy emote, because I don't know what to make of this guy, you know, like, you don't get stuff like this in PvP. So he starts coming down, and I start walking away. I don't know, is he gonna like come and overheat on me and hit me for 47k, or no? He's just walking around. So I'm just chilling with him, you know. Surely he will not betray me, I think to myself, but I was wrong, and he does. So the duel is officially on. And this is my redemption. I do like that glider though, that helicopter glider. But I think I may have caught him off guard a little bit here. Get a nice glint heal, wait for the blind to wear off, and then I have some sword damage that allows me to burst him down. I use the daggers, poured in, and then Death Strike connects and ends that duel there. So, deep sigh of relief there. I don't know if you heard my mic pick that up while I was playing, but I was stressed out, man. The Spellbreaker duels are so sweaty, and then Freaky Frogman is haunting my life. So then I'm capping this node, and he reappears. And I'm unsure what to make of this man. So I walk away a little bit. And now that I've got my health back, start going towards him. But I don't know, does he want to fight? Does he want to be friends? Does he... I don't know. I don't know what to make of this guy, so... He's just lurking. Just lurking. So I cap my camp, and then he reappears, but he still doesn't want to fight or something. I don't know. So I move on, like 2 ships in the night, and there we go. Back on the other side of the map again, I cap a little sentry here just for some experience. And while I'm capping, I see swords on my camp to the north. So I decide, screw this sentry, I'm going to go try and defend this. Or no, I actually saw it flip. So that kind of confirms that there's somebody there right now. So I head up there as quickly as I can. I mean, the damage is already done. It's already their objective. I can't flip it back. But, so I find the guy who capped the objective. And I see that there's a big red group down there. So I'm running on limited time. If they come up here, then I'm going to need to just simply run away as fast as I can. He gets a huge burn stack on me, man. And I just have to run away. It's been like forever since I've seen a burn guard in PvP. I know how to fight it, but it's just been forever. So I start kiting. This port does not work for me. I try to hug the wall to see if that makes it work. It does not. I get hit with maybe some kind of stun. I don't know what that range stun was exactly. Probably from the Ellie. And at this point, I'm just trying to see if maybe there's some way that I can split these two apart so that I can do a bit of a divide and conquer maneuver on them. So try and hit some terrain here. We'll go for one little pass. Maybe we can get some healing from the glint heal. I get a huge amount of healing off of that, so that was good. So they do split up a little bit, so I go for a little bit of a burst on the Guardian, swap to the Tempest instead because he's got like, I think a staff on, and I realize that that is the same baby Tempest from previous. You get a really nice teleport down below the cliff, so this kind of confuses them and splits them apart just the way I wanted, and that allows me to get the burst on this Tempest and secure that down. So that went really nicely with the way that port ended up working. But this burn guard is scary, man. I don't have the very best of cleanse on this build, but just in the nick of time, I get a teammate who emerges from behind from the spawn, and that allows me to finish off that 2v1 situation. So that was pretty good. And I sent this guy a quick thank you PM. Always appreciate the help from the teammates in PvP and World v World, doesn't matter which. Always appreciate it. So that was great. Now, I run into the Soul Beast again. And by now, I'm thinking to myself, I've ran into this guy at this particular location a couple of times. Like, there's got to be something up with this guy. He's got to be doing something. Some kind of gimmick is going on here. And the way that this teammate is reacting, it's just giving me a body language that, like, something is up, you know? So I'm kind of proceeding with caution. And he's running very quickly. And then I see he's going toward a cliff. So I walk away. I don't want anything to do with that because I think I know his move. And yep, there it is. He got my teammate. Oh man, I've seen that. I've seen people do it with Warrior where they tether you and then they jump off. I don't think I've ever seen that with Soul Beast. So that was a pretty cheeky maneuver. And okay, last but not least here, as the World v World noob, I have to include my final fight of the night, which involves me getting smoked like a Christmas ham by 2 Condi Reapers who do insane damage. And yeah, so while this is going on, while I'm getting absolutely annihilated, I wanted to thank everybody for the reception to my last video. And I wanted to provide a invitation for an open dialogue about the format of these videos. If you guys enjoy the format where I'm doing sort of like a long form type video for this roaming stuff. Let me know if you have any suggestions for different things I should try. Maybe I try a different map. Maybe I try EBG. Let me know. I'm open to any suggestions because I am a noob. I am still learning, still listening, and if anybody has any recommendations or wants to link up or anything like that, my contact information is always in the description. I also wanted to give a very special thanks to Jag for submitting my very first tip through PayPal to help the channel. Jag has been a day one fan. He's been in my thumbnails, always comments on my videos. Greatly appreciate him, so thank you so much, Jags. Very, very special shout out to him. Yeah, that's all for me for today. If you guys enjoy the format, hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost anything, and I will see everybody next week. Thanks, guys.